Hi guys, who's ready for a self-tanning tutorial? Today I'm going to show you step by step how I get this gorgeous golden glow. The products I'm using today are ones I've used for over 12 months. I've shared them on my page before, and you know I won't share anything with you unless I've tried it, I love it, and I know it works. Also, self-tanning is a personal preference, but I just personally love how I feel when I've got a bit of colour on my skin, especially when I'm wearing my swimwear or sleeveless and strapless dresses in summer. I just feel fabulous and it gives me so much more confidence. Also, make sure you read the tips and tricks below because there's a lot of information down there that I haven't got in this video that'll help you and your tan look fabulous. Okay, ladies, let's get into it. I'm just going to put my hair up because I don't wear a cap. I like to leave my hair down because when I do my face, that's optional though, I will push it up into my hairline so I don't get a mark. Sometimes if I've worn caps and things when I've done it, it's actually left a mark on my hairline here, and I like everything to be blended in so it looks normal. Now this is entirely optional, but if you're like me and I like to have my skin completely free of tan before I put a new tan on, I use Sol de Sur's new eraser. It's fantastic. I've tried them all and this works. And what you do, if you've got any bits of tan over your body, I actually do all my legs and my arms because it works so well, is you just squirt a bit on, rub it in. It comes in like a cream and lathers up, and you leave it on the areas that you've got residual tan on, and then leave it on for about 5, the longer the better, but I do it before I have a shower. And then say maybe 10 minutes after you put it on, I hop in the shower, and then they have the glove that you put on, and it's quite scaly, if you know what I mean. It's quite rough, and what you do is you exfoliate all the areas where you put the product and it will remove the tan. You might have to do it a couple of times, but I tell you what, I've tried them all and this one's fantastic. And what it does, it just gives your skin, like here, I've got no residual tan on and I am completely streak free and I've got a clean slate to start with. And generally what I like to do is I will do the exfoliation and the tan removal the night before I want to tan, because I just find once I've exfoliated and taken all that tan off, I like to give my body a really big hit of moisturiser. So I'll rub my arms, my legs, moisturise overnight, and then the next morning is when I'll put my tan on. Also, everybody's different with their tanning and how they like it. I love a dark tan. That's just me. I've been tanning for decades and I just love a really dark tan. Some might want it light, but if you're starting out, I would recommend go for a light tan to start with, or even just a gradual tan, because Sol de Sur do a gradual tan that I will use between tans to keep my tan fresh. The tan that I'm going to be using, and I use this one all the time, is the extra dark tanning mousse, and I use the Sol de Sur tanning mix. Also, what I like to do is I just put a little bit of moisturiser on the places like your knees and especially your feet, where it's very dry and cracked sometimes, and your hands. Just do that. You don't need a lot, but what it does, it just stops the tan from grabbing into those dry, cracked areas, especially those bits. You don't need a lot, but it just helps keep the feet a little bit more moisturised so the tan won't grab on those really dry bits. But you don't want to put anywhere else, but just on the parts that are quite dry. Okay. Oh my God, I feel like I'm auditioning for a part in Chicago. Sorry, I had to say that. Okay, so we put a bit of mousse onto our glove like that, just a couple of pumps or 3 pumps or so. And then you want to start, I always start, I put my leg up on the chair because it's just easy to show you, but you want to do sweeping strokes up. So you just go like that and just keep going up like that, and just, you don't want any streaks. But the beauty of this product is it doesn't streak in the application. I've tried a lot of them and it just glides on. And I know many of you, I've put onto this product, this Sol de Sur self-tanning cream, self-tanning mousse. It just glides on. So you just want to do gentle strokes. And like, I've got my swimmers on. Normally I would wear a pair of undies that are a little bit higher cut, and yeah, but just because I'm doing this in front of you, I've got these gorgeous swimmers on. So you just want to do that and just cover your legs and strokes like that. It's good to have a mirror with you too, like that, a full length mirror, so you can see where you've missed, because I've had some really big mishaps where I've tanned and then it's dried off and I've washed off and I've got a great big streak down the back of my leg. So, okay, don't do your feet though, because I've got a special little trick I use for that. I've got a mirror just here, so I just turn around like that, have a look, and then where I know I've missed it, just put it there. So That's one leg. Easy peasy. Doesn't get any easier than that. And like I said, I would have high cut undies on because look at the difference already. But just for modesty. Now, so I've done one leg. Now I want to show you how I do the feet. Now I'm going to show you how I do my feet. Now this is, everyone's different how they put their tan on, but this is just how I do it and I get a great result. Put about 2 pumps. You don't need a lot because you don't want to put a lot on your feet. Then get one of those stubby little brushes. I think they're called, they start with K. Someone will be able to tell you in the post, but Cuba, something. Little stubby little brush. Put some of the product off that, but you want to dab it. You don't just want to stick it straight on your foot. And because you've already moisturized your foot earlier, you'll be able to just paint it on, sweep it on in very light strokes on your foot like that. So you're not putting it on with the mitt, but you're just using that brush. You don't need a lot because, and like I said, don't put the whole product on. Just dab it and then wipe it off, because even though you think you haven't got a lot on, it does come through. But just nice, can you see that? Nice gentle strokes. Go between your toes and then along there. It might take you a couple of goes, like a couple of tans, to work out what suits you and how thick or how thin you apply it on your skin, because everybody's different. But this way, I just find it looks more natural. It doesn't look like you've just got the glove and wiped it all over your foot. So that's how I do my feet. And I do my hands the same way. Just sweep it on after you've done your arms, and yeah. Okay, now we're going to do our arms. The same deal again. 3 pumps and then just slowly, gradually up and down your arm like that. And I'll show you how to do your back in a minute, but just sweeping across like that. And like I said, if I was at home, I wouldn't have I'd have nothing on top, like, because I like to get all over. Also, don't worry about your hands yet. Do both your arms first before we worry about our hands, because we don't want any tan on our mitts before we do that. So yeah, just do that under your arms. Make sure you check yourself in the mirror that you've got all your skin covered and there's no white bits or anything, especially those elbows. And then under there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you do your back. So that hasn't got any tan on it, as you can see. This is Sol de Sur's back applicator. Now it's had a bit of wear and tear because I use it all the time and I love it because it works so well. But what you do is you just get your applicator, I just lay it on the chair like that, and you put a couple of pumps, 2 or 3 pumps in the middle, and then you get that. Then grab it and go behind your back like that, and then start rubbing. Look, and then it comes on just like that. And ta-da! You don't need anyone to help you, and you might have to do it a couple of times on either side to get it all even. Check in the mirror like I said. But the best thing since sliced bread. Ta-da! Back's all done, and I didn't have to get anyone to help me. Now this is entirely optional too, but I do like to tan my face so it blends in with the rest of my body. So do this before you do your hands as well, but the same deal as we did with our feet. Put some of this product, okay, so put some of this product on your mitt. You don't need a lot, 2 pumps is heaps because you're going to dab a lot of it off. And hopefully I can see myself. I might get a mirror. I'll just grab a mirror because it's just easy for me to see myself rather than trying to do it in the camera. So I've got 2 pumps on my mitt. You're going to dab it in and then dab it off, and then get a mirror, of course, and then just come into your face like that and just dab that product on as you would be. You don't want it thick. You only want a very light coverage, and just put that on your face. As you don't forget your ears, and make sure it blends in with where you've done underneath your chin. But as I said earlier, I blend it up into my hairline like that, so it just looks normal. You don't have that white line. Just grab a little bit more. Don't forget your eyes, because there's nothing worse than having white eyes, but you don't, like I said, it all depends. You'll do trial and error. You don't need a lot. You just want it very light, but it will make your tan look like it just is all natural, because you're looking like you're blending in with your body. I hope that makes sense. Do your nose. And I think we're done. Don't forget your ears, like I said, and that line under there. Just blend it all in. And now our hands, the same thing, just one. You don't need a lot, because the hands is where it can make or break a tan. You just want a little bit on your hands like that. And then because you've moisturized them before, you just come up with your brush, and you want to get into those fingers, like in between there, because that's where it's white and you do notice it. But go like that, get your knuckles and do those little creases along your fingers, because if you don't get the tan into that, it looks white and you can tell straight away that someone's got fake tan. But just blend it in like that. And what I generally do, when I've done my hands, I won't leave my hands on for the full length of the time I do the rest of my body, because I want it to look a little bit lighter than the rest of everything else, because yeah, I just feel that's when it looks fake. So I will leave that on for a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, because that will settle into your skin and tan it, but it won't make it go really dark like the rest of your body. So just do your other hand. And also, this is just what works for me. Everybody's different and will have different ideas about how to tan. People say, oh God, you don't do it like that. This is just what works for me. And if you're new to tanning and you want to give it a go, then maybe this might help you. Okay, I'm all done. I'm ready to marinate, as they say. Okay, so I'm doing this at about 9 o'clock in the morning. So I will leave this on all day. I'll put something really loose. I'll wait till it dries for about 20 minutes. And then I will put something really loose on, like a nice floaty, non-clingy dress or something, and then I'll wash it off about 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight. But that's just me. And then a lot of the times, if I'm doing it like normally, I've done this today because I'm showing you a tutorial, I will do it at night after I've had my shower. I will put it on and then I will sleep on it. But that's the beauty with Sol de Sur, because it doesn't transfer. I've used tans where it comes out in your sheets and it's awful. This will just stay on. It doesn't rub off. So generally I will do my tan at night and sleep in it and wash it off in the morning, because that's just what works for me. But today I've done it about 9 o'clock and I'll leave it on till about 6:30, 7 or something like that tonight, and then I'll wash it off. So I'll see you when I've marinated. I'm looking gorgeous golden brown. Ta-da! I've marinated, I've washed it off, and I feel fabulous. I've spruced myself up a little bit, but wow, what a difference a self-tan makes. Look, I don't care. It's a personal preference, but I just love how I feel when I've got that little bit of colour. I feel fabulous in my swimwear, especially when I don't have sleeves or straps or anything. It just makes such a difference, and I just love how I feel. So I hope you enjoy that. Make sure you read the tips and tricks below, because there's a lot of information down there that I haven't got in this video that'll help you keep your tan looking fabulous. And anyway, I hope you loved it, and I'll see you next time.